The next topic in our syllabus is poem A Tiger in the Zoo, written by Leslie Norris. Stanza first begins like, he stalks in his vivid stripes. He here is tiger. The poet has used he at place of it. He stalks means he walks under his bright striped skin. The tiger that is confined, restricted in the zoo, moves around in the cage under his bright colored skin. He stalks in his vivid stripes the few steps of his cage. The poet says that the tiger can take only few steps because the cage is small. On pads of velvet quiet. It means the tiger has very soft feet like velvet. Many animals have padded paws. The tiger's paws are also padded. One cannot hear his footsteps. There is no sound of the tiger's footsteps. Next line is, in his quiet rage. Rage is anger. The tiger is walking a few steps, quietly, calmly. Though he is in rage, he is in anger. He is angry because he is not free. Now let us discuss the poetic devices which have been used. First is personification. At place of it, he has been used for the tiger. Then we have metaphor. Tiger's paws are compared with velvet. Enjambment. After first line, there is no punctuation mark and the second line begins. Then we have consonance. Repetition of consonant S sound. In the first line, he stalks in his vivid stripes. Then we have assonance. Repetition of vowel sound I. Again in the first line, he stalks in his vivid stripes. Assonance has been used. Then we have oxymoron. Use of words opposite in the meaning. These two words are quiet, rage. We also have imagery here, as one can imagine tiger taking few steps in his small cage. In stanza 1, the meaning of vivid is clear or bright. Now let us talk about stanza 2. Here the poet says that the tiger is caged in zoo, but it should be in forest in its natural habitat. The poet says that the tiger should be free. The tiger should hide himself and then sliding, moving smoothly through the long grass, should catch its prey when it comes near the water body, river or pond to drink water. Poetic devices which have been used in this stanza are enjambment, as there is no punctuation after second and third line. Then we have alliteration. There is repetition of per sound in plump pass. Then again imagery has been used, as a poet creates an image of tiger's activities like lurking in shadow. In stanza 3, the poet says that the tiger should be free, snarling, growling, making warning sounds around the houses which are at jungle's edge. The tiger should be bearing, showing, uncovering its white fangs, white teeth, and also its claws. The tiger should be terrorizing, creating fear among people living in the village. Poetic devices, literary devices which have been used are again enjambment, then assonance, repetition of vowel sound O in should, around, houses, and vowel I in bearing his white. Then we have consonance, repetition of consonant sound S in his fangs, his claws. Then we have onomatopoeia, use of a word which denotes sound. The word is snarling. Other examples of onomatopoeia are sound mew, which a cat makes, sound moo, which a cow makes, and hiss, which a snake makes.